Hello and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 312. Tonight we have an article reminding us that even if we earn a lot of money, doesn't mean that we're on track for retirement. The other thing about it is that people who earn more money tend to spend more money, so they actually need more money than people who earn less. Because when you retire, you don't automatically change your lifestyle. You don't automatically find spending half as much money acceptable. And if you're very used to your lifestyle at age 60 or 65, it's very difficult to change and remain happy. It's much easier to change in general earlier in your life, or at least begin that process early in your life, because it is a process that takes time. So we want to think about it now. And I like this article because it mentions specific numbers, and it tells you exactly what those numbers mean. And I like specifics. Even higher earners could use more retirement savings. This is from The Motley Fool and Mari Backman. Millions of workers risk retiring without enough money to keep up with their expenses, and the reason generally boils down to inadequate savings. But while it's one thing for lower earners with limited income to fall behind on their retirement plan contributions, it's another thing for higher earners to make the same mistake. Yet new data from Ascensus proves that even folks who earn $100,000 or more per year aren't contributing as much to their retirement plans as they should be. Among individuals earning $100,000 or more annually, here's how the average 401k balances broke down at the end of 2017. Under 25, $20,000. 25 to 34, $37,000. 35 to 44, $76,000. 45 to 54, $147,000. 55 to 64, $247,000. And finally, 65 and over, we have $344,000. When we look at some of these numbers, they might seem respectable at first, particularly the average $344,000 balance accumulated by older workers. But when we take the time to understand what these numbers mean from a practical standpoint, they become far less impressive. Most seniors are advised to withdraw about 4% of their nest egg's value each year. Doing so increases one's likelihood of having those savings last for about 3 decades, or so a host of financial experts have claimed for years. But when we apply that 4% withdrawal rate to a balance of $344,000, we arrive at just $13,700 in annual retirement income. To give that figure some context, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that adults 65 and over spend an average of $46,000 per year. Meanwhile, the average Social Security benefit stands to collect $17,000 a year as of 2019. The Social Security beneficiary stands to collect $17,532 a year as of 2019. When we add in the $13,771 from above, we arrive at $31,303, which is almost $15,000 shy of the $46,000 the typical senior needs. To be fair, the above figure doesn't include assets held outside of a 401k. In other words, it's possible that among those higher earners, many hold funds in an IRA, traditional brokerage account, or savings account on top of the 401k balances noted above. That said, it's also reasonable to assume that someone with a 401k may not have any other meaningful sources of retirement income outside of Social Security, thereby placing a pretty hefty burden on savings alone. Another caveat is that while the average Social Security beneficiary will collect $17,532 a year, those entitled to the maximum payout at full retirement age will collect $34,332 a year instead as of 2019. And since folks earning above $100,000 are more likely to qualify for that maximum benefit, it may be more equitable to use the latter figure rather than the former. If that's the case, then higher earners retiring with a $344,000 nest egg may be looking at $48,000 a year on average, which is right above that $46,000 sweet spot. This sentence is kind of bullshit. All right, if you earn $100,000 a year, you think that you're going to retire and you're going to be happy spending $46,000 a year? You think you're going to be happy cutting things in half? You're not going to be happy with that. You're going to feel poor. And I would suspect that many people who retire after earning over $100,000 a year do not hit $46,000 a year of spending in their first few years of retirement. It's going to take them a few years to figure out this isn't going to work, this withdrawal rate above 4%. And then they're going to have less than $344,000 when they hit 70. You're going to get medical expenses. It's not going to look good. Then again, that $46,000 represents what the typical senior spends. Folks who are used to earning more might enter retirement with higher, costlier expectations and wind up disappointed when they find that they're looking at a mere $4,000 a month and change to work with. If even that. What about the taxes? Another thing to keep in mind is that traditional 401k withdrawals are subject to ordinary income taxes in retirement. It's only those lucky folks with Roth-style accounts who get to shield their withdrawals from the IRS. All of this boils down to one thing. Higher earners may need to step up their game if they want to retire, if they want their retirement to play out the way they've envisioned it. And the sooner they do, the better their chances of substantially boosting their income when they're older. Ramping up savings. Folks under 50 who save in a 401k have the ability to contribute up to $18,500 annually at present, while those 50 and over can sock away up to $24,500. For 2019, these limits are increasing to $19,000 and $25,000 respectively. So that's good to know for anyone listening to this video. In 2019, you can contribute $19,000 to a 401k, or $25,000 if you are over the age of 50. This means that a 60-year-old with $247,000, the average balance for that age, who maxes out a 401k for 7 more years starting in 2019, stands to retire with about $614,000, assuming an annual 7% return on investment during that time. And I'm not really sure that we can count on an annual 7% return on investment for the next 7 years, given where the stock market is right now. But let's hope. Those whose savings aren't quite up to snuff can also explore the option of working longer. You can explore it, but it's not guaranteed. A 60-year-old with $247,000 who maxes out a 401k for 10 years instead of 7 could retire at age 70 with more than $832,000, all things being equal. That jump is due in part to 3 more years of contributions combined with an added investment growth. Though higher earners are doing a decent job of setting aside funds for the future, many need to do better if they want to enjoy a retirement lifestyle that mimics the one they've grown accustomed to. And the sooner they recognize that, the more opportunity they'll be able to take action. Okay, and then this is an ad. As is the custom for Motley Fool, stick in an ad at the end of the article. Oh no, it's that time. I'm getting tired. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful. I hope you found this updated 401k contribution useful for your planning for retirement contribution in 2019. And I hope that if you are over, making over $100,000, this is a kick in the ass. This is a reminder that you may be behind. You may need to contribute more, and you certainly have the opportunity because you have the income. It's just a matter of making the decision to do it. Well, that's it for video number 312. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a fabulous evening.